Welcome back to the Bettors on Tuesday morning edition, 11th of May. We have two pretty long cards to break down, so we will get right into it. You know the drill by now. If you want to team up plays, you can go to patreon.com/the and join the Discord channel. Otherwise, just let's get this one started. Minnesota Timberwolves at the Detroit Pistons, 6.5 point spread currently on Bet365. This game I think is totally unbettable. Both teams are tanking. Pistons are tanking a bit more. They lost 8 out of the last 10. The list of injuries for Detroit are pretty amazing here. Grant, Ellington, Diallo, Magruder, Plumlee, DSG all out. Frank and Josh Jackson both questionable. Minnesota 6-4 in the last 10. They aren't playing bad basketball, but so they are tricking around. They have a shot at losing their draft pick to Golden State if they place in given spots in the rankings. So they are playing around and playing it smart, ensuring that they have the least chance of losing the pick to Golden State. Um, I don't fully follow how the thing is going down right now, but I would in no way lay 7 points on the road with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yes, they are the better team. Yes, the Pistons are tanking, but yeah, there isn't this much difference between these two squads, in my opinion. I'm way closer to pick him here than -7. Obviously, the injuries will hurt the Pistons, but yeah, you don't want to touch this game. This is the last week of the regular season. This is a skip game, and we'll have a few more of these today. Denver Nuggets at the Charlotte Hornets. Fifth 5.5 is the spread, almost a 6. Denver Nuggets road favorites. Barton, Dozier, Murray are out for the Nuggets. Morris questionable and Gordon probable. Probable tag is always bad at this time in the season. We could see Gordon also sitting. I'm never betting a team in the last week of the season where any of the players that count basically is probable. So yeah, I'm off the Nuggets here. Too many injuries. The Hornets without Bridges, Hayward, Graham is questionable. I think both teams have about the equal count of injuries and the equal seriousness. Obviously, Hayward out for the Hornets still is huge, and Bridges has been playing well lately. My line is 4.5 here, so 5.5. Yeah, some value on the Hornets, but I'm not going to get involved. Although if Gordon is announced out in the end and Morris as well, then I would be probably backing the Hornets at 5.5. But this is not a game I'm interested in. But I'm interested in the Miami Boston game. I think Miami has a great shot at winning this one. 1 point spread, 1.5. Heat road favorites. They are only without Oladipo, while the Celtics are without Brown and Williams. Brown is now out for the entire season. Heat has been the better team between these two, and by a pretty large margin in the last few weeks. They are 7-3 in the last, and Boston is 4-6. Heat sitting at in the 6th seed right now. They are 5-1 in the last 2 weeks with a +5 point differential on average. They rank second in the entire league in offensive points per possession. This is a team that has been in the bottom 10 offensively for the most part of the season. They had trouble scoring, and now they figured it out. And I think there is two main factors to that. One is that the shots are finally falling for them from 3-point range. They have been consistently a bottom 3 team when it comes to 3-point shooting. Their percentages were down for the entire team. Shooting was basically pretty bad, or at least worse than where they were before. And the second factor that helps them recently is that they are finally attacking the paint more. They are the best offense in the entire league at attacking the paint. They hold the highest field goal percentage, and that has been also consistent through the year. But they were in the bottom 5 from shots attempted from the paint, and now they are starting to flip the switch on that a bit and attacking the paint. And the thing is that the Celtics are a bad defense in the paint, and they are a bad defense against three pointers. Currently, they are the seventh worst defense in the paint and the ninth worst against three pointers. And Miami is hitting the shots from both spots really well. The Heat are also one of the better teams in the league in drawing free throws. They are the seventh, and the Celtics are giving up the third most free throws in the league. So yeah, based on the matchup, the recent form, and obviously the Brown injury, I think the Heat are one of the better bets today. 1.5 is getting juiced now on Bet365. This is basically a 2. I think value is going away. But if you can grab like a cheap money line, minus 120 that was out there before we started streaming, I think that's the play. The matchup is amazing. The Heat are in way better form. They are healthy, feeling it, peaking at the right time. I think they are the side here. LA Clippers at the Toronto Raptors, 12.5 point spread. At some books, you can still find 11.5s. I make this 13.5, so I show an edge on the Clippers. I haven't bet it. I'm not really about laying this many points this late in the season. But as I told you, the Raptors are now full on lose mode. When they were 4 games out of the 10 seed, I told you that they will start tanking, and they started tanking really hard. For this game, Siakam, Lowry, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Hood are all out. Boucher questionable. The starting lineup basically has no NBA caliber players besides Gary Trent Jr. likely. This is really ugly. But the problem is that the Clippers haven't been good lately. They haven't been efficient offensively. This was a top 3 offense when it comes to offensive efficiency and scoring in general, and they are 17th in the last 2 weeks and underperforming closing spreads by 4 points. Their point differential is just plus 1.6 points, so that's not a team that's blowing you out. Kawhi is coming off a really bad game, but they had a few weaker games recently. So yeah, I'm not laying 12.5 points on the road, but my numbers show a pretty big edge on the Clippers here, based on the lineup that the Raptors are able to put out. Brooklyn Nets at the Chicago Bulls, 5.5 point spread. I make this 5. Bulls are totally out of it. They are not officially out of the playoffs, but I think with the loss today, they could be. They are 2.5 games up. I think they have 4 games left. I'm not sure about that. Harden is out for the Nets, but that's factored in. I make it 5. I think there is no value. Bulls have been playing okay recently, but it's too little, too late. Not a game I would touch. Dallas Mavericks at the Memphis Grizzlies. Dallas road favorite, laying almost 2 points now. My line here is Dallas -1. They are without Porzingis, and Kleber is questionable, likely not playing again. But Memphis is playing their 3rd game in 4 nights and the back-to-back. Moran played 35 minutes last night. I have been mentioning Memphis running out of gas multiple times these last few weeks. Offensive efficiency is bad. You just don't see the energy. Numbers are down across the board on both ends of the floor. This is not a team you want to back on the tail end of a back-to-back. That's what I'm telling you. So it's Dallas or bust for me, but I show no edge. In fact, my numbers show a small edge on the Grizzlies, but I wouldn't be backing Memphis here. Although on the other end, the Mavs are one of the worst rebounding teams in the league, and the Memphis is super strong when it comes to rebounding on both sides of the floor. So yeah, this is a stay-off game for me, but Dallas is the only side I could look at. I think the general tiredness of Memphis should show here, and against Doncic that's fully rested, that's bad. Philadelphia at Indiana, 6.5 point spread. Not touching this one either. Embiid is questionable. The Sixers are in a prime spot to get the first seed. I think they have 4 games left together with this one, but they only need to win 1. And the last two games come against Orlando. Both of those will be gimme games. The Magic are tanking. So they can afford resting Embiid here, and I think they should, and I hope they will, as I'm really high on Philly come the playoffs. Um, Turner Brogdon Lamb out for the Pacers. Not a good scheduling spot for them. I don't think you want to do anything with this game. Obviously, Embiid's status will move the spread significantly. I would make this Philly -7 with him in. Orlando Magic Milwaukee Bucks 13.5 point spread. I make this 13 with fully healthy teams, but the Magic again have tons of questionables. I haven't even. This is the long game that I skipped. I didn't even look into it. There is just no way I would lay this many points with the Bucks. They have 5 games in 7 days to cap the season. They will preserve energy and keep the minutes as low as possible. They are not about covering games, but the Magic is unbackable. Phoenix Suns at the Golden State Warriors, 4.5 to 5 point spread. I show a small edge here on Phoenix. I'm really, really low on Golden State. I think I still think they are a bad team. This is a back-to-back for them. Curry and Green play 37 minutes. Green had some issue going into the game. It wasn't sure he will play. We will see if he plays on a back-to-back, but that's something you have to mention. I make this 5.5 at a flat 5, slightly in towards Phoenix. If this stabilizes at 4.5, I would be probably backing the Suns. They are the way better team, way more complete on both sides of the floor. I just don't think that Golden State should get this type of respect against a top 2 team in the West, really. OKC Thunder at the Sacramento Kings again, similar case to the Minnesota Detroit game. Both of these teams are tanking. OKC is just way better at it. No one is playing for them. SGA, Muscala, Maledon, Dort, Jerome, everyone is basically either out or questionable. You will see multiple scratches throughout the day. OKC should really be fine. This is the most egregious tanking I have ever seen. Kings without Barnes, Fox, Halliburton, and Hield is probable. That means he likely won't play during the last week of the season. You don't want to do anything with this game, but the 10.5 is outrageous. The Kings are a bad team, and they are without likely 4 of their best players and laying 11.5 points. That's just bad. I make this like 8.5, but I cannot bet the OKC Thunder. New York Knicks at the LA Lakers, 4.5 is the current spread. This was 5.5 before, and you can still find 5.5s at Bet Online, Borok, 5 dimes. You should bet the Knicks with 5.5 points. I make this 3, and I think even at 3, I would look at the Knicks. LeBron is, by the way, listed out officially on the official injury report, but he practiced fully, and they said that he will play. The NBA, again, should find teams that are uploading fake info on the official injury report, and the Lakers have been doing that the whole year. They just don't care about it. But everyone is probable there anyways, and they are not playing. So, yeah, we will see. Schroeder is surely out for the Lakers. I think he's still a pretty big hit. This 5.5 is really a line that you would set if AD and LeBron were both playing consistently, 35 plus minutes. If they had good chemistry and if the team didn't have any issues, but both of these guys will be likely on some kind of minutes restrictions. LeBron for sure. Chemistry isn't there. The team is looking like shit. 5.5 is a lot against one of the best defenses in the league, and New York has been playing considerably better on the offensive end. So yeah, this is a huge edge. New York is my favorite play of the day. I think nothing comes close. All right, summing it up, Miami Heat, I think laying 1.5, still good. Great matchup, great recent form. Celtics got hit with the Brown injury. They haven't been playing. They are really, really average. Like all the stats are league average. Heat are playing well right now. This is a great matchup. I think they should get it. If you are into laying double digits, I think Clippers minus 11.5 is the bet. This will move towards 13, in my opinion. I make this 13.5. The Raptors basically are starting no one from their old starting five. Everyone is sitting. It will be a total shit show. Clippers should be capable of winning this by 20. We will see. I show a small edge on Phoenix at 4.5. I make this 5.5. Five would be just a lean. 4.5 flat would be a bet. We will see if we get there. But Golden State on a back-to-back. I think this is a difficult game for them to win. Suns need the W still. They can still win the West. We will see about that. But this is a team that's playing with full effort every day, so you can expect them to work for your money if you back them. And the New York Knicks, 5.5, 5, 4, 4.5. 4.5 is totally okay. I would bet the 4.5 with the Knicks. I expect this to be a one possession game if the Knicks lose it, but I could see them winning this one. The Lakers have been super depressing. So yeah, that's it for NBA. Let's talk some baseball. We have again tons of games, some looks, some bets in interesting slates. I think in both leagues today. We will start with the first game. This is one of the least interesting ones. Texas at San Francisco lies at Webb. Both of these guys are okay. Neither are great. The Giants are the way better team. I fully agree with the line. I won't go deeper into this one. I think the value is now gone from the Giants side, but I wouldn't back Lyles on the road. He has a 40% hard hit rate, righties with a 6.5 FIP and a 28% line drive rate against him. Not a good arm. And the Giants are a pretty decent offense. Second game, this is way more interesting. Cubs at Cleveland, Albert Alzolay at Shane Bieber. I really like both of these arms. Bieber had a few weaker at-bats or more unlucky at-bats, but he's still, I think, a top 3 arm. K rate at 39%, 19% swinging strike rate, 62% contact rate, super high end arm. Cubs offense isn't scary. Azalea on the other end is a guy that's really slept on. 4.5 ERA, 3.2 Sierra. His whip is 0.88. K rate at 30%, 7% walk rate, 14% swinging strike rate, 24% hard contact. Amazing stats against right-handers. Contact rate around 70%. Weather is super for an under here. Cloudy, 52 Fahrenheit, 10 mile per hour wind blowing in by game time. Both teams had a day off yesterday. This is an under look for me. 6.5, that's fair. I wanted this to open at 6.5. But you can find sevens out there. Bet online under 7 minus 122. It's a bit juice, but I think that's the play. Under 7, I could see Azale really impressing today. This could really be like a 1-2 run game. And I think Azale could possibly hang with Bieber and surprise many. I think he's really a sleeper in this league and for the Cubs. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, Hoffman and Brubaker. Hoffman got pushed back since he was screwing around with the lineup, but this is not a guy you would want to back normally. His velocity is down, line drive rate super high against both sides, almost 40% hard hit rate, 11% walk rate. He is bad. Sadly, the Pirates' offense is non-existent, and they are losing guys again left and right. Even this is one of the worst offenses, and is getting weaker. But you have to give credit to Brubaker. He has a 2.7 ERA, 3.1 Sierra, 12% swinging strike rate, 57% ground ball rate, only a 28% hard hit rate, and a 5.8% walk rate. This guy is super legit. The Reds a bit overperforming. I'm not a huge fan of the lineup overall. I think Brubaker will have a nice game. Honestly, again, one of the games where I would look at the under again. I didn't bet it, and I weren't really looking into it, as Hoffman is pretty bad in my opinion. But I think Brubaker will have a nice game, and I'm not sure Pittsburgh's offense is capable of putting up more than a few runs against even the worst pitchers out there. So yeah, no dice from me. Early money has been coming in on Pittsburgh, by the way, and I agree with that. Brubaker is awesome. Maybe a first five money line on the Pittsburgh Pirates is not a bad idea. I think in the worst case, yeah, that's a refund. Philadelphia at Washington, Chase Anderson, Eric Fetty, two of the worst pitchers on the slate. We are skipping this one. My line is minus 125 on the Nationals. Minus 128 is the current line. Both guys are terrible. Fetty with an 84% contact rate, 11% walk rate, 377 wOBA allowed at home. He's averaging 4.5 innings, only has a 7% swinging strike rate. Chase Anderson has a 5.3 Sierra, 12% walk rate, velocity down, 6.4 FIP against lefties. Soto will have a field day. 360 wOBA on the road. This is a 9 total, I think, over or bust, but I don't really like either offenses. So yeah, we are going on. KC at Detroit, Brady Singer, Matt Boyd. Boyd coming off the IL, in my opinion. Yeah, he was on the IL. He didn't pitch in a while, and his Sierra is 2 runs higher than his actual ERA. Basically, he has a 240 batting average against him and a 2% home run to fly ball ratio. This is a guy that has consistent problems with the home run. And this season, he has a 2% home run to fly ball ratio. Boyd will regress. KC Singer isn't great, but the Tigers are well below average against righties. 83 WRC plus for the team and a 29% K rate. Singer, he has a 4 Sierra. He's that basically league average-ish guy. Not missing as many bats as I would like, but keeping the ball on the ground, 50% ground ball rate. The KC offense is due for some regression. I'm not laying big prices with them on the road. KC money came in early. This opened at minus 120. It's minus 132 now. I think all the value is gone, but probably at minus 120, I would look at Singer with Boyd coming off the IL and being due for so much regression. Oakland at Boston, Chris Bassett, Nathan Eovaldi. This is another game where I really like the under. You can still find nines out there, but 8.5 is, I think, still okay. This is an extremely high total. Basically, I think, yeah, both of these offenses are all right, but not that good. I think Boston will regress a bit, and Oakland is fine, but like nothing special. And Eovaldi is coming off back-to-back bad starts, and that's why we are getting this high total. I almost show an edge on Boston as well, by the way. So Eovaldi had 2 bad starts against the Tigers and the Mariners. That's not something you want to back, but I think that's the time to back him now. He has a 4.6 ERA, but a 3.5 Sierra. Walk rate is sub 5%. He has a 13% swinging strike rate, just a 21% hard hit rate, almost a 50% ground ball rate, 2.2 FIP or better against both sides of the ball, and he's super dominant against righties, righty heavy lineup. So he got unlucky with a 61% left on base rate and the 340 batting average on balls in play. That's just so bad with his stuff. I think positive regression is coming. I think Oakland is not as scary as people think. So yeah, under is my look here. Chris Bassett, workhorse pitcher, nothing special, but he has a 3.7 Sierra, 12% swinging strike rate. You have to respect that. 25% hard hit rate, 47% ground ball rate. All the things I like. Staying off the barrel, keeping the ball on the ground, missing bats. Against righties, he has a 2.05 FIP and a 60% ground ball rate. I think with the Oakland bullpen having the day off yesterday and Boston's bullpen only using 2 guys, I think 8.5 is still too high. This should be 8. So yeah, this under is my look here. New York Yankees at the Tampa Bay Rays. Montgomery as Patino. Yankees minus 124. Minus 120 would be my buy-in spot with New York, and they are the side I would be looking at. Patino will be likely followed by Yarbrough. He's coming off the COVID vaccine list thing, so he had side effects of after the vaccine. He's fine. I backed him a few times. We got away with it a few times. Low hard contact rate, 11% swinging strike rate. The guy is pretty decent, but he allows a 30% plus line drive rates against both sides. His velocity is down firmly from last year, averaging only 4 innings per game. The Rays won't really let him go deep, and he isn't really capable of going that deep either. So, yeah, Montgomery on the other side, coming off 6 inning outing against Houston, 3 earned runs. I think I accidentally deleted, but I think he had like 8 strikeouts against Houston or something like that. It was overall a good outing. He has a 4 Sierra through the season, 11.5% swinging strike rate, 46% ground ball rate, fully shuts down lefties, and really strong stats against righties. Yankees have the better bullpen, have the way better offense. It's an interesting note from Adam Burke of ATSIO. Yankees are 23rd in batting average and WOBA as well on 95 miles per hour plus hit balls, and they have the fourth most in the league. But if you look at any offensive stats, the Yankees are really up there among the top positive regression candidates. I think they are way better than Tampa Bay. So yeah, I'm hoping this gets down to -120. At -120, I would look at the Yankees. I think Montgomery is great. The Yankees are great, way better bullpen. Yarbrough is okay, but nothing special. If from a total perspective, I think 8 is okay. With the question marks around the Rays bullpen and Yarbrough and his load, I think this is fine. Baltimore at the New York Mets means that Stroman 6.5 total is a joke. Stroman is great, but Means is due for so much regression. He is one of my favorite arms in the entire league, but he is not a 6.5 total guy, in my opinion. His Sierra is 2 runs higher than his ERA. He has 100% left on base rate so far in 46 innings with a 150 batting average on balls in play. That's insanely lucky. So yeah, all the credit to him. Mets have no power. Same data from Adam Burke. The Mets are the last team in the league, so they have the least balls hit 95 miles per hour plus and 100 miles per hour plus. So they have zero power. So yeah, I could see Means having another good game, and we can maybe fade him in the next game. Stroman is great, high ground ball rate, not walking anyone. You know the drill. Orioles are a shitty offense, but 6.5. While I think Means is due for a blow up, that's I think a bit too low. Toronto at Atlanta, super interesting game. Max Fried was scratched here, and we will have either Wright or Wilson starting. Probably Wilson. Wilson has 3 outings. All the 3 were 4 innings, and he has a 6.7 ERA and a 5.8 Sierra with just a 10% K rate and a 9% walk rate. His velocity is way down. He's limiting hard contact, some ground balls, but overall he's super just meh. While Ray is pretty good for the Jays. He has been his velocity is up 2 miles per hour, 15% swinging strike rate, absolutely kills lefties. He's a lefty, of course. 200 WOBA and 1.3 FIP against left-handers. Low contact rate overall, misses bats. I really like him with the increased velocity. I think he might peak again. And the Braves so far against lefties, 52 WRC plus and a 28% K rate with just a 136 ISO. I think this is a sneaky good matchup for him. The Jays were originally lined at plus 140 to plus 150 if this was freed. I think we will get a pick'em or Jays slight dogs, and I make them slight favorites. So I'm looking to back Toronto at a pick'em in this game. St. Louis at Milwaukee, skipping this game. Kim Peralta, both guys have upside. Neither of these offenses are too amazing. The 7 total, in my opinion, is a bit low. This should be 7.5. I have question marks about both guys. Kim has been getting around the opposing teams, but I don't trust him. Peralta is walking too many guys. Again, both guys, I do have questions. Kim is just averaging 4.5 innings. Peralta has a 13% walk rate, 53% fly ball rate. No, I don't know what will happen here. I agree with the side. I have Milwaukee minus 117, so I'm pretty close to the market. Minnesota at the White Sox, Kenta Maeda at Dylan Cease. This is the biggest bet of my day. Kenta Maeda and the Minnesota Twins. Both Maeda and the Twins are due for so much positive regression. I cannot tell you that. And the White Sox are one of the biggest regression candidates on the offensive end in the entire league, and Cease isn't a good pitcher. So I make Minnesota a favorite here, and I'm all in on them here. Maeda with a 5 ERA but a 3.9 Sierra. He has a 13% swinging strike rate, only 29% hard contact, only 29% fly ball rate. He's got super unlucky so far. 26% home run to fly ball ratio and 340 batting average on balls in play. Yeah, he's a nice arm, and he will figure this out. White Sox league average-ish offense with these injuries. Obviously, Eloy is out, and Luis Robert is out. They got super lucky so far. If you look at any advanced metrics, they aren't a top team offensively. They shouldn't be priced as one. While the Twins, one of the biggest ex-BOBA underachievers, they are in the top 5 in the hard hit ball rankings. Everything is pointing up for them. Buxton is out. I think that could maybe lead to some of the value here, but I think it's mainly Maeda struggling so far. Cease is a guy with so many red flags. I cannot tell you. It's insane. 12% walk rate, 85% left on base rate, velocity down 1.5 miles per hour since last year, 7% home run to fly ball ratio, super low ground ball rate, 28% line drive rate against righties. I'm just waiting for him to blow up. Minnesota is the way better team, the way better pitcher. They shouldn't be dogs here. LA Angels, Houston Astros, Ohtani at Lance McCullers. Ohtani is another guy that's kind of consistently overpriced. Sadly, not the case here. I agree with the line. Minus 148 is the line. I make this minus 147. So super close. At minus 140, I would be backing the Astros. Personally, I'm really low on Ohtani. He is coming up off 5-inning outing, no earned runs, but he walked six guys again. Through the year, he has a 22% walk rate, just a 180 batting average on balls in play, 36% hard contact, 44%. That's 44% against righties. Won't go deep into games. Not a great bullpen. I'm still not liking this pitching gimmick with him. He's great, but he should be just hitting. Astros way better team overall. McCullers, this is the 8K game against the Yankees. I mixed it up earlier. So McCullers coming off a 6-inning game against the Yankees with 8 Ks, only 3 earned runs. I think this is a step down in competition. Angels without Rendon for him. 13% swinging strike rate, 55% ground ball rate. That's 64% against righties, and this is a righty-heavy lineup. Value is kind of gone. Houston opened up as minus 133. I would be all over them there. But I think at minus 140, I will be in. And I will be likely in on the San Diego Padres with dinners on Lamet. I mentioned this yesterday. It was a snow-out game. We get Lamet back on the mound. I make this game minus 186 San Diego. They are facing Senzatella, who has a 6.9% swinging strike rate, 85% contact rate. He is giving up 400 WOBA and a 5.7 FIP against righties, averaging less than 5 innings, bad bullpen behind him. Great park shift for the Padres. They are the biggest underachievers offensively so far. If you look at most offensive metrics, everyone is expecting tons of positive regression. They have the most hard hit balls in the league. Lament only 4 innings so far, but he's missing bats, high ground ball rate. Pitching at course is risky and difficult, but I don't mind laying a price with him. Padres bullpen rested. It's a premier bullpen. They can back him up if needed, but I think the Padres are due for a breakout, and Senzatella is the perfect guy to break out against. Miami at Arizona, Pablo Lopez, Madison Bumgarner, 7.5 total. I kind of like the under here at 8, but the 8s are gone from the board besides Bet Online. That's minus 125. That would be the absolute last price I'm playing. So yeah, 7.5 across the board. Pablo Lopez, you know that I'm really high on him. One of the better Miami pitchers. Matt Bum, not fully on board with him, but he has a 12% swinging strike rate, velocity up on the fastball, 2 miles per hour, not walking anyone, absolutely shuts down lefties. And while he's giving up a bit more hard contact against righties than I would personally like, this is a good park for pitching, and Miami doesn't really have the power. So yeah, I think he will be fine. 7.5 is kind of fair, but if you get like a really cheap 7.5 around even money, that would be maybe even a bet for me. Final game, Seattle at the LA Dodgers, 228 favorite. Bueller hosting Kikuchi. Kikuchi is a nice arm. 12.5% swinging strike rate, 53% ground ball rate, just 25% hard contact. Overall, I really like the guy. So we are not laying over minus 200 against the guy I like. On the other end, 7.5 total, juice to the under, basically a 7 now. I'm not betting unders with the Dodgers, especially at 7 against a team with a bad bullpen. And yeah, Kikuchi I like, but this is a tough matchup. All right, 35 minutes-ish, 36. Let's sum up the baseball bets. So, bets that are in Cleveland, under 7, if you find those, I think that's nice. 6.5, I would not bet. Boston, under 9. Under 8.5 is a number I still would bet. I think this should be 8. We've already bet Minnesota. Plus, any plus money is good. They should be favorites on the road. Maeda due for positive regression, Twins due for positive regression, and C's and the White Sox are both pretty big negative regression candidates. And Arizona under 8 if you can find one, but the 8s are mostly going away. I think 7.5 is kind of fair. So those are my picks for today. As for the off-the-board games, I make Toronto a pick'em with Robbie Ray facing whoever, some random Atlanta guy. I cannot even recall the name. But I run my numbers with him. I make Toronto minus 104. So even money, slight plus money. I really like Robbie Ray. I think this is a good matchup for him. So I'm looking to back the Jays if they open as a dog. And San Diego with Dinelson Lamet, I make this minus 186. No line out there. We will see what line we get. But I would look at the Jays and the Padres. And 2 more looks. The Yankees, they are minus 124 right now. A minus 120 would be my entry point with them. And the Houston Astros with Lance McCullers, I would need a minus 140 to play this. So yeah, pretty busy card. Thanks for staying on, everyone. I will be back tomorrow at the same time. If you're not there, my plays, you can go to patreon.com/thebettors and join the Discord channel. Please like the video and subscribe, or the podcast. It helps a ton. I will be back tomorrow at the same time. Good luck with your wagers. Peace out.